Welcome back to my YouTube channel WC Coins. World, today we will begin our journey into the rich history of the 1971 coin, a piece of numismatic heritage that carries with it stories of change, progress, and the continuation of traditions in coinage. The year 1971 stands out because it was a transitional period in the world of coins, and it marked the production of coins that today attract collectors from across the globe. The 1971 coin is often remembered because it was one of the first years when many countries, including the United States and others around the world, moved toward new minting techniques and adjusted designs. This year also saw the release of several significant coins, such as the Eisenhower dollar in America and other issues in Britain and the Commonwealth, which makes it a year of importance in international numismatics. In the United States, the 1971 coinage year is notable because it was the first year of production for the Eisenhower dollar, the first dollar coin issued since the Peace Dollar series ended in 1935. This coin was designed to honor President Dwight D. Eisenhower and also to commemorate the Apollo 11 moon landing, a design that truly captured both national pride and technological achievement. The 1971 Eisenhower dollar was struck in both copper-nickel-clad versions for circulation and silver-clad collector versions issued by the San Francisco Mint. This dual release made 1971 coins particularly interesting for collectors, since mint mark varieties and metal content created different levels of rarity and value. The mint marks for 1971 United States coins included no mint mark for Philadelphia, D. for Denver, and S for San Francisco. The 1971 Eisenhower dollar without a mint mark was struck at Philadelphia, while the Denver Mint produced coins with a D. mint mark and San Francisco issued proof and silver-clad coins bearing the S mint mark. These differences are highly important for collectors who seek to build complete sets. Beyond the Eisenhower dollar, other denominations were produced in 1971, including cents, nickels, dimes, quarters, and half dollars. Each of these coins carried the standard designs of the time, but they were influenced by changing minting technologies and the transition into a fully clad coinage system, which had begun earlier with the removal of silver from circulation coinage in the 1960s. The 1971 Lincoln cent was struck in large numbers at all three mints with the familiar design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Although these coins are common in circulation today, certain errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, and high-grade mint state examples make them desirable among collectors. The 1971 Jefferson nickel continued the design that had been in place since 1938, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home Monticello on the reverse. Mint mark placement during this time was still on the reverse of the coin, next to Monticello, before later being moved to the obverse in 1968. Mint mark placement had returned to the obverse, so in 1971, you will find mint marks above the dome of Monticello. The 1971 Roosevelt dime was struck in copper-nickel clad and bore the portrait of President Franklin Roosevelt with the traditional torch olive branch and oak branch design on the reverse. Although dimes of this year are not particularly rare, proof issues and high-grade examples, especially deep cameo proofs from San Francisco, can command higher interest from collectors. The 1971 Washington quarter was another important issue, struck in copper-nickel clad instead of silver, as silver quarters had been phased out after 1964. These coins feature the portrait of George Washington and the heraldic eagle reverse design, which would remain in use until the 1999 State Quarters program. The clad composition of the 1971 quarter makes it common, but mint errors and proof strikes are always sought after. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar holds special significance as it was among the first issues struck entirely in copper-nickel clad for circulation after the last circulating 40% silver halves were minted in 1970. The obverse features the portrait of John F. Kennedy, while the reverse carries the presidential seal. The 1971 Kennedy half was widely distributed, but it also became notable for collectors as the first truly clad half dollar. The 1971 Kennedy half was struck at Philadelphia and Denver, while San Francisco produced proof issues as well. There were no silver circulating half dollars produced in 1971. Although silver-clad collector issues continued briefly in. Proof sets this makes the 1971 Kennedy half an important marker in the history of modern U.S. coinage. Collectors often pay attention to mint marks, and in 1971, the Kennedy half with no mint mark was from Philadelphia with a D. Mint mark from Denver and with an S mint mark from San Francisco. The mint marks serve as a vital guide for distinguishing between common circulation strikes and collector-focused proof strikes. Errors from the 1971 coinage year are also of great interest to numismatists. Double die obverse examples are known for the 1971 Lincoln cent, and these varieties can be worth many times their face value. Similar errors appear on other denominations as well, with off-center strikes, broad strikes, and missing clad layers being among the most dramatic types known. In 1971, the UK adopted decimal currency, changing from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. This important reform featured new 1971 British coins, considered historic due to their designs. The British 1971 decimal coins included the new 1 pence, 2 pence, and half-penny coins, all struck with fresh designs, reflecting a modernized system. These coins are highly collectible today, not only because of their designs, but because they marked the beginning of a new era in UK coinage history. The 1971 2-pence coin introduced in Britain featured the badge of the Prince of Wales, while the 1-pence coin displayed the crowned portcullis design. The half-penny bore the Golden Hind ship. All of these coins became familiar sights in circulation and are still remembered with nostalgia by collectors. In terms of production, the Royal Mint struck millions of 1971 decimal coins to prepare for the full transition into decimalization, which officially took place on February 15, 1971. Known as Decimal Day, these coins were produced in such numbers that they became among the most commonly seen in circulation for many years. Collectors of world coins often treasure 1971 coins because of this link to decimalization. The year marks a turning point in global numismatic history, as other nations also modernized their coinage systems during this time to align with changing economic conditions and minting technology. The technology used in 1971 for striking coins was advancing rapidly. The use of copper-nickel-clad coinage allowed for harder, longer-lasting coins suitable for circulation, while the continued issue of proof coins and collector sets demonstrated the balance between practicality and artistry that defined the minting process. The Eisenhower dollar, struck in 1971, also had collector appeal because of the limited silver-clad versions produced at San Francisco. These were not released into general circulation, but were sold directly to collectors, making them scarcer than the regular copper-nickel issues. The 1971 S-proof Eisenhower dollar was struck with care using polished dies and planchets, creating mirror-like fields and frosted devices that appealed to collectors. The silver-clad versions contained 40% silver, making them attractive for both numismatic and bullion value. Meanwhile, the regular copper-nickel-clad Eisenhower dollars circulated widely, but were often considered too large and heavy for everyday use. This led to limited popularity in commerce, but increased collectability among coin enthusiasts. The Kennedy half dollar of 1971 similarly saw limited use in daily transactions, as half dollars were increasingly uncommon in circulation. However, the coin became popular with collectors who valued the design and the association with President Kennedy. The Washington quarter of 1971 continued to serve as a mainstay of circulation in the United States. It was heavily used in vending machines, pay phones, and other everyday transactions, which is why many examples found today show significant were making mint state pieces more desirable. The Roosevelt dime, struck in 1971, is also a workhorse of circulation coinage. Most examples encountered today are heavily circulated, but proof strikes and high-grade mint state examples remain the focus for serious collectors. The Jefferson Nickel series of 1971 carried forward a long-running design and is often collected as part of a full date and mint mark series. The 1971 issues, while common, provide an essential piece of the continuous history of this denomination. The Lincoln cent of 1971 continues to hold fascination for collectors, as it forms part of the long-running memorial reverse design, which lasted from 1959 until 2008. Certain double die cents from this year stand out as important error coins that can reach high values. Error coins from 1971. Across all denominations give collectors unique opportunities to find rare varieties from this year. These include off-metal strikes missing clad, layers double dies, and other unusual production mistakes that escape the mint. Grading plays an important role in evaluating 1971 coins, as high-grade examples, especially in mint state or proof deep cameo, can be worth significantly more than average circulated pieces. Professional grading services help establish authenticity and value for these coins. The value of 1971 coins varies widely with common circulation. Strikes often worth only face value unless in high grade, while proof and silver issues can be much more valuable, especially when preserved in original packaging from the mint. Collectors often seek complete sets of 1971 coins, including cents, nickels, dimes, quarters, halves, and dollars from all three mints. Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Assembling such a set provides a snapshot of the entire U.S. coinage system for that year. Beyond the United States and Britain, other countries also issued coins in 1971 that remain collectible. Today, many nations updated their designs or issued commemoratives, making 1971 a truly international year of importance in numismatics. Overall, the 1971 coinage year represents a blend of tradition and transition, from the introduction of the Eisenhower dollar in America to the decimalization of British coinage and the widespread use of clad technology. The coins of this year hold a lasting place in history. Collector's treasure. 1971 coins, not only for their designs and mint marks, but also for what they symbolize: a period of economic adjustment, technological progress, and cultural change that is forever captured in metal. As we reflect on the 1971 coins, we see how each denomination and each mint mark tells part of the story, from the Lincoln cent to the Eisenhower dollar, and from the smallest half penny in Britain to the largest commemoratives. Each piece adds a chapter to the history of money. For numismatists, the 1971 coins are more than just money. They are windows into history, offering a tangible connection to the people, events, and decisions of their time, and that is why the 1971 coinage remains a favorite area of study and collection to this day. Thank you for watching this detailed journey into the history of the 1971 coin. We explored its mint marks, its varieties, its errors, and its importance in numismatic history. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to WC Coins World for more in-depth coin stories from around the world. Your support helps us continue bringing you the fascinating history behind every coin. See you in the next video on WC Coins World.